What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you very much for each and every one of you. I see all of you that are logging in and everything else. I see y'all guys over there on YouTube, and I see you on Facebook, Switch. Thank you so very much. Hey guys, we got a great show coming on today. We've got one of the only, the legend himself, the originator himself. Hey Norma, how's it going? How's things up there in Michigan? Thank you very much for joining us, sweetheart. Without further ado, let me go ahead and run the intro for the one and only Mr. David Lee Garzs. It goes like this. Check it out. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, doing good. How you doing?
I'm alive and well, man. Thank you so very much for making it out tonight. We've got some people here saying hello. Got all kinds of hey, Gigi La Chicana. Hey,
PG La Chicana, pero eso no.
yeah. All right. Yeah, for the longest time I couldn't understand what that meant, but then I was like, oh, Chicana. There you go. Carlos B. Garcia. There's another guy there. Hey, how you doing, Carlos? Thank you for joining us. So, bro, man, congratulations on your song. I really do like it, man.
Thank you.
You've got a,
Thank you very much.
it's got a
It's
long name though. It's kind of hard for me to pronounce. I'm
all
not a
right,
native
right.
speaker
Yeah,
of Spanish,
exactly.
but it's a great song. You know, so for those of y'all that are out there listening in, and you haven't heard already, David Lee has just signed just recently, a few months ago, several months ago, signed with Freddie Records, and that's a move that was just different. I wasn't expecting it. Not that you don't deserve to be held by a record company. I just thought you were just going to be an independent.
Independent
But
forever.
yeah, well, I mean, what motivated you to do that, brother?
We have been talking already for years, right?
Hmm.
First of all, un saludo a todos, ¿verdad? Everybody that's listening in and tuning in and watching us. My recording career goes back to 1978, and we started with a company there in Corpus Christi, Hacienda Records.
Hmm.
That was the first record company that we recorded for, right? And then se pasan los años, and we went to Cara Records in San Antonio, then signed on to Sony International, then Capitol Records, and then back to Sony. And then when the big companies left the Tejano scene here in Texas, we started recording on our own, the DLG Records, independent. Like everybody was going independent, so we did. During all this time, I would go to Corpus Christi and record songs with Jimmy Gonzalez, with Pio Trevino, and bands like that. They would call me, "Hey, would you put accordion on my song?" Yeah, yeah. So I did a lot
Yeah.
of studio work at Freddie, and I would see him there. We'd say hello and talk a little bit. But 2 years ago at the Tejano convention in Las Vegas, we met up there again, and Freddie Jr. told me, "Okay, David, when after all this is done, we get back home to Texas. Let's sit down and talk, man. I'd like to offer you something." And I said, "Okay." So I told my brothers about it, and everybody excited. Got everybody excited. That was 2 years ago. And es pasa
Wow.
el tiempo, se pasa el tiempo, the time goes on, and nada, right? So this past year, uh, we met again, and well, right before that, I went and recorded a song for Jay, and then the last one I did was for Jay Perez. Actually, I did one for Pio Trevino before that,
Yeah.
but
Te voy a
when I
amar,
did
right?
the one we did with Jay Perez, I finished recording, and Freddie said, "You have a little time to talk," and I said, "Yeah," and it just slipped my mind, about recording there. And he said, "Have you seen the facility here?" I said, "No." So he takes me around here. There's this, and that, a warehouse where all the CDs and albums that they still have. And I told him, "Man, that's nice, man." And he says, "Have you seen our office?" I said, "No." He said, "You got time to talk?" I said, "Yeah." And we started talking about recording and stuff because I mentioned when I was recording in the studio that we were almost done with a new CD. And he told me, he said, "I heard you talking about you're almost done recording a CD." I told him, "Yeah, we still need some work." He says, "Well, what if we bring that out CD out, on Freddie Records?" And I said, Freddie, we talked about this 2 years ago. So I'm just going to tell you that it took you long enough to call me again. So no, we started negotiating and this and that. I took it, I brought it home to my brothers and I told them, Freddie wants us to record there. And they were like, yeah, let's do it, man. We've never recorded, we had never had a contract or been under Freddie Records. So let's do it. So, very blessed, man. Thank Freddie and Freddie Senior, Freddie Junior, Mark, all the people
Yeah.
over there at Freddie Records for bringing us on to the family.
Yeah, I mean it's a great facility. They got great equipment over there, great
Awesome,
engineers. You know, the
awesome.
music that always comes out there is really really good. One of the things that I always tell people or the new artists, I always say that I accept every music, all music, new music. I want the new music to come, but you have to understand it. It has to have the ISRC code, so that way that's for you for the artist, so that way they can get paid. Because I am a fully
Right.
accredited radio station. I have my ASCAP, BMI, my C6 core.
Okay.
I have all of my licenses, but also it needs to be recorded at industry standards. Because
Right.
what people forget, it's just because you can do it at home doesn't mean you should. You know, uh, uh, sometimes it's too loud, and if it gets distorted from me, just imagine what it's going to sound like on the phone,
The radio, right? On the
on
phone.
the radio. It's going to sound bad. So that's why, industry people, they know this. They know, hey, there's a sound, there's within this parameters that we need it to sound. And we don't want to push those envelopes, and
Right.
so
Right.
it's good, and they've always put out great work and everything else. So it's really, I'm glad that it's easier for you because then you don't have you have less stuff you got to worry about.
I know that's tough to worry about, but we just have to drive to Corpus. We're about 2 hours away.
Yeah,
Versus when we record on our own. Aquí estamos in San Antonio, just drive to San Antonio, and we record there. Pero it's worth it. It's worth the drive.
definitely, man. Let me catch up on some of these chats real quick. Norma
Okay,
says,
go
"Hey,
ahead.
hello, David Lee. We saw you this weekend at Grand Haven, Michigan.
Grand Haven, yeah,
Her and George Salazar. He's a great singer too. He's out of there, out of the Michigan.
Christian, right?
Está María Cheli Martínez says, saludos a todos. Hey, how are you doing? My Spanish is getting better. I can hear it myself. Sorry. Gavino Perez, he says, hola, how are you doing? Let's
Um,
see here. I'm siphoning through these guys, so don't get mad if I skip over.
you're good. You're good.
Yeah, it's Tejano time says a shout out from DFW. What time is it? It's always Tejano time here. Uh, the says I'm a big DLG fan for decades. Thanks for all the great songs and memories. Yeah, we have a funny
Welcome,
story.
man.
We talked about it, and I know you've talked about it several times too. But it is a funny story, and I don't know if a lot of people hear. But I've heard it. I've heard you say it on the radio, and we've talked about it before when you were recording. You were laying down some accordion for Rick Balderrama there in Slack
San
Monster.
Antonio,
Yeah, in San
right?
Antonio at Slack Monster. And we were talking, and this is right after COVID. And we were talking about how for you getting back on the road was different, but you know what? You missed the fans. You missed being in front of the fans, and that was the greater
Right.
motivator. And that's really cool. But what's it like? I don't have an understanding because I mean, like when we go to Vegas, I interviewed you in Vegas, and I've been in Vegas and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of people that see me, that talk to me and stuff like that, that know me from other states and everything. But it doesn't really. That's just, it's not like you, where people go to other towns to see you. They travel far. What's that like for you? Has that ever sunk in, or is that something that you really think about?
Well, the traveling part on our part
No, no, for fans to
for
follow
the
you because I
fans.
know
Oh
you're
yeah,
yeah you're
definitely.
traveling. You're
I,
traveling. You know it. It's tiring. It's
yeah,
wearing.
yeah. No, people tell me, hey, we drove 4 hours to see you. We played in Monterrey, Monterrey, Nuevo León one time, and this one fan dijo que venía desde, oh man, he was on the bus 20 hours
Oh my
to go
God.
to go see Los Musicales in Monterrey. Man, where was he from? He was from Puebla.
Oh wow.
From Puebla, yeah.
Hmm.
And I said, "Is that far?" He said, "Yes, 20 hours on the bus." Avenida Vernos. Oh my God, I felt bad because we only played like an hour, maybe 90
Oh
minutes
no.
set, and
Oh
that was it.
no.
But he was happy. He said, "Man, I'm happy. You played my favorite song. Which one?" And he told me the song, but of course I can't remember.
Of course,
But
yeah.
yeah, man, it's so weird to see people from other states, that come to Texas just to listen to us, and well, maybe not just to listen to us. They're on vacation or whatever, and we just happen to be playing in their town, in town,
No,
and they
no,
come
no,
out
bro.
and
I
and,
I've
and
traveled. I've
and, uh,
traveled to. I've traveled to see you. I've traveled to see you. I've done it. Trust me, I have.
yeah,
And actually, believe it or not, it's your album that really got me to loving Tejano music as much as it has. Because remember, I'm Native American, so I
right,
didn't speak Spanish. My wife is Mexican, and she had Spanish music, but
right,
it was your music that really influenced me, in the
wow,
fact that I really enjoyed it, and I love the just the structure of your music because your music is very complex. Some people may say that it sounds, kind of, it's very, flat, but it's not. It's very complex. There's a lot of drum licks in there. There's some hooks especially with the bajo that are just different. And then the way you run your accordion is all different. The bass is also the way you incorporate with
yeah.
the accordion and the saxophone. All of these little things make it what it is. It's for me just deconstructing the music is very very good.
We
And
do we take a lot of pride when we record a new song. Everybody does their part and adds to the arrangement. We could just record it like the way we got the song and everything, but we don't. We do little things here. The drum will do something, or the bass and the guitar together,
yeah,
and we mix it up. So it
yeah.
doesn't sound monotonous. Like, oh, that sounds just like the other song or something like that. So yeah,
No, no,
we we do that.
you're exactly right. But David Lee's sound is very much the David Lee sound. It's just that the instrumentation has got its own little. I don't know how to say it. Everybody has their own. If I were to deconstruct each one of them, I could do this for days. I don't want to do that. It's kind of boring. But yeah, that's Mr. Bustamante. He's the one that he's like, dude, you really listen to everything. I pay attention is what I do.
There you
So
go.
that's the good one. Belinda Gonzalez says, hey, hello from Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, yeah.
A good
We were
friend
we
of the
were in
show.
Chicago. We were in Chicago for about an hour, coming back from Grand Rapids. We flew in. We flew from. Look at this. We drove to Dallas to Irving, Texas, to go play Friday night. We played with Jay Pettis. It was his birthday celebration. We played
Mm,
at a club in Dallas. From Dallas, we stuck around and flew out at 6 in the morning. We went to Baltimore, Washington, I believe. From Baltimore, we were in Baltimore all of about 45 minutes. Got there and got on another plane to go to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And we stayed in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but that's where we stayed. But we drove to Grand Haven, Michigan, to go play the night. And then after that gig, well, we had to be back at the airport at 5 in the morning to fly
oh,
out at 7 back to San Antonio. No, to
jeez.
Chicago. Chicago, we spent about an hour there at the airport and Midway, Chicago Midway, and that's a big airport. They told me you're lucky you didn't have to fly to O'Hara
Oh
Airport
man.
because oh
Yeah,
man, that's
O'Hare.
bigger. Oh
Yeah,
my
that's a
God.
bigger
So
headache. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So no, we were in Chicago for about an hour yesterday, and we flew back into San Antonio and got home about 12 noon,
Yeah,
12 noon or so.
and then you're like, oh man, I gotta talk to Indio tonight.
Oh well, no, it's okay. I slept good last night, being home, and then I remembered that we had a little session with the guitar players and the guitar and the bajo player today,
uh,
and I was at the studio when Freddie texted me. He said, "Hey, don't forget about tonight." I said, "What about tonight?" Because I always put messages on my phone, and I didn't have nothing. But then I'm glad I looked at my phone, and Freddie Jr. said, "Don't forget about tonight." And I told him, "What time is the interview?" He said 8 o'clock. I said, "Oh, okay, I'll be fine. I'll be fine." I got here about 5 till 8, and got a drink of water, ate a cookie, and sat down here.
Yeah, I was like, I was talking on the phone. I saw you get up. I was like, hey, I gotta go. I got David here, man. Rick Valderrama just joined us. He says, "Saludos. How are you doing?"
Yeah, really?
El main man, Rick. Hilda
Oh yeah,
Peña, how are you doing, sweetheart? Thank you very much for joining us. Rick says Richie Valderrama walked to Poteet to have breakfast with David.
yeah, yeah. He walked all the way over here. Richie, I'll pick you up. He said, no, no, no. I want to walk. I
I
want to walk
want
30 miles.
35. That's, I don't see Richie. Sorry, bro.
Sorry, Richie.
I believe that one. We'll talk. We'll talk about that. Now, Hilda says, "Hey, everyone from HP Promotions. Quiero saber with Hilda P. And Cuba Radio FM. Thank you, Mija. Let's see here. No, that was as Hilda says. David Lee seen him at the Rodeo Event Center, and it was Cesar's birthday.
Oh yeah, yes,
You
sir.
know, there's this like the mythology that is David Lee Garzs because you've been doing this since the '70s, bro. And it's whenever you get a new singer, and you've birthed a lot of great singers. Oscar G, Ram Herrera, Emilio, Jay, Marcos Orozco, all these people. The myth is that when a singer joins your band, they have to get the book, the Bible, the book, and go through
The
all of
Bible. We call
these.
it the Bible.
The Bible, is that what you call it? I know it was called. I called it the book. I was like, I think they call it the Bible, but anyway, it's the all of your songs, bro. That's a lot of music, man.
Pretty much, because if a new guy comes in, it's a big task for him. You have to learn songs from Ram. Ram was the first singer, so he
Yeah.
learned some songs from Ram, from Emilio, and on down the line, Jay, Marcos, Oscar G, Joey Martinez.
Hmm.
And there's so many songs. A singer has to learn, and it's that's what it's done real good. He knew all of three songs when he joined the Musicales.
Oh my
When I called,
god.
when I found him, when I called him, he said, "You know what? I heard y'all songs, but I only know about two or three of them. So I guess we weren't his favorite." But
Oh.
I said, "Okay, well, here's this book here. Can you learn this one and this one?" I'll give him the titles. He said, "Oh, I'll learn them." So for a while, he had the book in front of him, the Bible we call it. He had it
Hmm.
in front of him, so he could relate to the songs, to the words. But then after a while, yeah, yeah. When he was with us a year, I said, "Okay, you got to throw that book away. I mean, don't throw it away. Put it away.
You put it
It
away,
it
yeah.
doesn't look right." But he still sometimes he'll come up with a new song, a new old song, and he says, "Hey, compadre, hey boss," may say, "Hey boss, I learned this song. It's a song that we recorded back in the day, back in the '80s or '90s." I said, "Okay, can we do it tonight?" I said, "Sure." Then he'll put the book there just to reference, like so he won't forget the songs, the words. Pero yeah, it's very hard for the lead vocalist to come into the band and have to learn all these songs, from the past singers.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's funny because uh, I'm a big fan of yours. Like I said, you're the one of the main reasons that I turned to Tejano music. But I'm also a huge fan of Texas Latino, and I'm always over at Slack Monster Studio. And they were practicing, and their lead singer wasn't there, so they had the backup singer singing the songs. And sometimes he didn't know the words, and he was just humming along, and it was driving me insane because I was like, "Those aren't the words, dude." but unlike most people, I can sing the songs, but I sing them out of sound. I sing them verbatim. I don't actually know what it is that I'm singing because
Right, right, right.
I didn't know the words. I just knew the sound
Well,
and
we've had
phonetically.
singers like that too.
Yeah. And I have a wonderful story from Ram Herrera when I interviewed him, and he talked about how he going with you guys and getting to be part of the group at the very beginning.
Uh-huh.
And it's just amazing to me. What is it? What is your secret? Even Cesar right now, he's got a great voice. I really do like his voice, and he's a great singer. And what is it that you? What's the magic, man? Where do you go? Where do you get these guys? Because
I
you're
don't know.
you're
I just
everywhere.
I when I listen to a singer, I like to listen what he sounds like, not what he could sound like.
Oh yeah.
So so and like the story on Cesar, we were playing a quinceañera in Robstown, and that's his hometown. And a friend of ours said, "Hey, would you let my cousin sing a song?" I said, "Who's your cousin?" Because it could have been somebody that already sang with another band. And he said his name's Cesar Martinez, and I asked him, "Does he sing with anybody?" He sings here locally. He says, "Local bands, and I think he's starting his own band." Oh, okay. Oh, sure, bring him. So he got up there and he sang "Mujer Liberada," one of Jay's songs, and that's the only song he sang. And he sang it just the way we recorded it, and he wasn't trying to sound like Jay or like anybody. It was just his voice, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I look for.
Yeah.
So weeks pass, and we go back in the studio, and my brother Richard, the bass player, says, "Brother, why don't you ask that guy that sang with us in Robstown to maybe sing a song with us here? Put him as as a special guest or something." I said, "Oh yeah, well, that's a good idea. How do we get a hold of him?" And he said, "Well, I don't know. I didn't get his number." I said, "Well, about our friend, the friend that told us about him. He's from Robstown, but he actually lives in Houston. So we found him and told him, hey, what's that guy's number? That Cesar guy." And he said, "Oh, I'll send it to you." So he sent us the number, and I called him. I called him once, and he didn't answer. And I didn't leave a message, but then I texted him. I sent him a text saying, "Hey, this is David Lee Garzs." And it's funny. The story's funny because he was working at the time. He says, "I saw my phone ring, and I didn't recognize that number. It must have been a bill collector." So I didn't answer.
Oh my
So then
God.
when I text him, he saw the text, and I put on there, I just called you, blah, blah, blah. This is David Lee Garza, and can you give me a call when you have a chance? We're in the recording studio. We'd like for you to record a song with us. So he took a little while because, like I said, he was at work. So I think after work, he worked for the school district. And after school, he called me and he said, "Hey, this is Cesar." Yeah, and I told him, "We're in the recording studio right now, and we thought about, asking you to record a song for us." And he said, "Man, it'd be an honor." Yeah. "What song?" And I told him, "Well, I got a song in mind. I'll send it to you, and we'll go from there." He said, "Well, when do you want to record this?" I told him, "How about next week?" And he said, "Okay, a week. Yeah, I think I can learn it in a week." And a week goes by, and we set up a studio time here in San Antonio. And he drove down to San Antonio, and he knocked that song out like in 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
yeah, and when he got there, he was like, "Whoa, I've never been in a recording studio. I've recorded in studios, but just home studios." He said, "But I've never been in a professional studio. And we're at Gibby Velasquez studio."
oh yeah.
So like I said, he gets in there and he goes over the song one time. The level's fine. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Boom, he knocked it out, man, in like 10 minutes. And Gibby Velasquez Gibby Velasquez, right? The
Yeah, yeah, sure do.
engineer,
Yeah.
the multi
Hmm.
Grammy Award winner. He was on the controls here, and Cesar was singing, and looking down, he tells me, "This guy's good, man, but don't tell him this guy's good."
Gibby.
I said, "Okay, we won't say nothing. We won't say nothing." So no,
That's Gibby.
after he recorded, we talked to him a little bit. So hey, we're looking for a guy. We're looking for a front man and singer. Would you be interested? He said, "Man, let me go talk to my friend because it's kind of like my manager." He said, and we're just gonna start my own band because I would sing with local bands there in Robstown, and I was gonna start my own band. But let me talk to him, see what he says, because the guy had already gone and got like a sound system and stuff. He said, "Let me talk to him." So no, he talked to him, and he calls me back and says, "Hey, yeah, I think I want to join the band, man. You give me an opportunity." And I said, "Yeah, that's fine." He said, "I told him come into San Antonio, and we'll go have dinner or whatever, and bring your friend, bring your manager, or whatever, and we'll talk. We just want to be cool with him too. We don't want to just take somebody away from a band or stuff." So we said, "No,
Right.
no, yeah." So we came in, we went to eat at Pico de Gallo and sat down and talked a little bit, and this and that. And his manager, his friend, was real cool. He said, "You know what? This is an opportunity for Cesar to go out of Robstown. And we kind of figured that starting a new band is hard." I said, "Oh yeah, it's very hard." And he says, "Being that y'all are established already," I told Cesar, "You got my blessings. Go for it." So Cesar's been with us. It'll be 10 years here in November,
Wow.
Thanksgiving night. That's when he started on Thanksgiving. So it'll be 10 years that he's been with us.
Yeah. And it's a you know, it's it's a testament to the commitment that you have for your music. We get to hear the quality of music that you guys put out, and how it is, because it's been a couple of years since you put out an album,
Yeah,
and
that's what happens when you're independent. There's nobody there. There's nobody there with a
yeah,
switch and trying to hit you and tell you, "Hey, get back in the studio."
yeah, you hurry up.
We've been doing it crazy, man. It's every 2 years we started recording, and we're supposed to record one a year,
Yeah,
to stay afloat and be on the airwaves, and we just slacked a little bit because we're independent. But now with Freddie already told me, as soon as we finish this record, uh, you need to start working on another one. I said, bring me the songs, give me the songs. Uh, Back in the day, I would get 15, 20, 25 songs a week, songwriters sending me songs. So we had a lot to pick from. And nowadays, songwriters are scarce, man. I mean, they're still out there
uh-huh.
and they have songs, but we don't get them as often as we used to. So it's a good thing with Freddie. Freddie's got his songwriters working all the time, and I told him,
He
okay,
writes some too. Freddie's written some
yeah,
too. Yeah,
Freddie
he's
Senior writes a lot
yeah,
of songs too. Yeah,
yeah. Bumper just joined us not too long ago. He says the Godfather of Tejano music. Saludos. Thanks a lot, Bumper.
Bumper,
Thanks a lot for joining us, Bumper. Hey, by the way, you had a great show last week, bro. Good job. My good friend Borrado Lopez, he's a DJ there in Houston, Texas. He's joining us. How are you doing, B? Thank you very much for joining us, brother. I send him music. That's how I do my little. I don't have like a top 10, but what I
right,
do is I have DJs friends that play in clubs, and I send
right,
them the music, and then they play it, and they can tell me what it's like in the clubs. That to me is
right.
it's a better barometer than people voting, because when you see him on the dance floor, that tells you it's a good song.
That tells you something about the song. Exactly.
Yeah, David Vela, how are you doing? Hello, Indio and David. This is David Vela. Oakland is watching. My main man, David
Oakland,
Vela. He's a he's an actor. He's on the
awesome.
on one of the shows there on Netflix. It's the Good Shepherd, or what is it called again? I'm sorry, brother, man, I forgot. It's a series. It's on
The
Netflix right
series,
now.
awesome. I'm
Yeah,
going to look
so
for it.
yeah, it's a
I'm going to
great
look
show.
for it.
We got to support each other.
That's right.
The only way we can level
Definitely.
up is together. Ralph Pesina, saludos desde Monterrey,
¿Quién es
yesterday.
Ralph Petina? Who's that?
10 years, 10 months, he says.
10 years, 10 months. Yo, he knows exactly
He
when
knows
Pepe started
exactly.
with the band. Yeah,
Yeah, he
exactly.
knows. He knows. Yeah.
Ralph tell you can I can tell you any song musicales I've ever recorded, when we recorded it, and what year, and
Uh-huh.
where we recorded it.
And who was there, who was here, who was
Yeah, who
not
was
here.
there and who was not there. Saludos a Ralph.
Yeah, good job, Ralph. Thank you for joining us, bro. Yeah, Borrado says, Mr. Legend, Mr. DLG, when will you be in Houston again? He's asking.
And in Houston, we'll be there. If I'm not mistaken, the day after Thanksgiving on a Friday. We'll be in Katy, the Houston area.
In Katy, Texas, there, right
Yes,
outside,
sir.
man. Belinda Gonzalez, good night. Have a good one. So, well, good night, Belinda. Sorry you couldn't stick around for longer. I don't know what time zone you're at, because we cover 126 countries. So some
Oh,
people they're all over the place, and so it is what it is. But it's still Juan Guerrero still has songs. Hijo, you should have said that. Now you're gonna
oh
get
yeah,
fired.
yeah. Gigi better send me some songs.
Send him some
That's
songs.
right.
You never
Yeah,
know. He could say yes.
yeah.
The Chosen. Thank you, David. It's The Chosen. That's the name of the TV show
Chosen.
that David.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
David's
What?
the
I wonder what he plays because we've been watching that.
he's the centurion. He's the guard, the big centurion that's in there.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
cool,
he's
cool. Yeah,
a
I'm gonna tell my girlfriend. I know somebody that's on the Chosen.
there you go, Dave. Yeah, see, now send me some merch, bro. I just hooked you up. No, just kidding. No, you know what? He got me last time because he said I'm a big football fan, and I know Dallas Cowboys lost, so don't give me no grief. But he was at a golf tournament and he had taken a picture with some of the Dallas football players that were there, like Drew Pearson and
Right.
everything else. But I have a picture with me and Drew Pearson, and I'm wearing his ring,
Wow.
his ring there. So, but he gets to do a lot of that cool stuff. Actors get to do
Awesome.
that stuff, I
I'm
guess.
gonna invite David Vela to come play at my golf tournament.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you
We have a golf
should.
tournament coming up here in October. It's we're about a month away, maybe a little less already. If he
Yeah.
has a chance, if he can, come play at my golf tournament now, and he'll play on my team, and I can brag that I know somebody in the chosen.
There you go, Dave. I'll hook you up, David. Both of you, David and David. So there you go. Yeah, Ralph was laughing about that comment. He says gracias, by the way, for
And
that he knows everything. Yeah.
oh yeah,
So, B, you're going to be doing that in 45 minutes. All right, bro. Well, thank you for joining us, man. I really do appreciate you, man. Irma Salvio Perez, she says, hello, how are you doing, sweetheart? Thank you so very much. You know what? We've been talking a lot. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the song that we've been talking about. I really do like the progression that is in there, and I want you to pay attention to kind of in the middle of the song. You're going to love the break. Musicianship is key when you're listening to David Lee Garz's music because it is excellent, and this is a masterclass on rhythm and on maintaining the music. And notice how it's full, but it's not too much. It's not overpowering, and that's what really makes good music because you don't have to have a lot of noise in there. Let the music talk to you, not just noise. But bro, that word it's
atormentado,
tormentado. What does that mean?
atormentado. When somebody's tormented.
Oh, tormenting somebody.
That's what it talks about. Because
Yeah.
the song name is called Atormentado, and in the song he doesn't you didn't Cesar doesn't say atormentado. It says me estoy atormentando. It means he's tormented. But and I questioned the David Yanes Jr. He's the one that sent me the song because his dad recorded it back in the '70s, and I said why is the name called Atormentado? Are we saying it wrong? Because the song when he's singing, he says "Me estás atormentando," and he says no. That's the theme of the song, being tormented. So the song name is Atormentado.
Okay, so that makes sense then. Miguel Hernandez, how are you doing, brother? Thank you for joining us, man. Great musician, great person, Miguel Hernandez there. Atormentando. Atormentando.
Yeah,
Atormentando. There you go. I got it, bro.
Atormentado.
Atormentado. See, I said it
No.
right. Right here. From David Lee Garza. This is Indio right here on QO Radio.
Me estás atormentando, ¿qué es lo que quieres de mí? No tengo que entregarte, mi vida yo te la di. Borracho y he pasado para poderte olvidar. Y entre más tomo el vino, te comienzo yo a mirar.
Yeah, brother. That's the song, man. That's the song. And like I told you, for those of y'all that were listening and heard my little suggestions before, that little break in the middle, and the reason that I wanted to point it out was because it's so smooth, and it's the quintessential less is more, especially with that great drum roll break, the sweet little breath, and then it goes in. It's just there's lots of little nuances that are in there. Even the bajo, the way it plays off of the guitar, you know,
Right.
the keyboard, the subtle keyboard, the way it works with the accordion, the way you play the accordion, it's a lot of hum. By the way, that honer that you're playing in there, that's a custom build. It's gotta be, bro.
Right.
Where's that
Yeah, I'd like
from?
to thank Gilbert Reyes from Honor. I would always meet up with him also, like at the Gunto Festival here in San Antonio.
Hmm.
And he was the Honor representative, right? And I was playing the other brand. But my first accordion was a Honor. And I told him, "You go a lot to Italy, right?" And I said, "Oh, yeah. That's where our factory's at." I told him, "One of these days when you're over there and you see a chromatic accordion, like I'm kind of a compact accordion, because I have these great big accordions that are chromatic." I told him, "If you find a chromatic that's compact, you let me know, and I'd like to buy one, from over there." He says, "I'll keep an eye out." Well, se pasó like maybe a year or so, and he told me, "Hey, I got an accordion for you." "Oh, you found one?" He said, "Yeah, but it's a Honer." He says, we want to endorse you. We're going to give you this Honer and sign you up to like a 3-year deal, and you can stay here as long as you want." He said, "Your 3 years come by, and it's going to go by fast." He said, "After 3 years, you're more than welcome to stay with us to be our spokesperson there on Honer on the Tejano side or whatever." I said, "That sounds like a plan. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Keep sending them accordions over here."
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a beautiful accordion, and it's just the way I saw it, and I was like, it's because your chromatic is so big.
Right,
Yeah, and the button structure is different, and
right.
so that's why I was like, it doesn't make. I've seen it, and I didn't understand it. It looked different to me, so that was like, I don't know how he's playing it, but. Give it to
Yeah.
David. Yeah, David's playing it. Miguel says DLG recorded Cada Copa for me back in 2010. Always appreciated him for that.
Cada
Looking
copa.
forward to the next one. There you go, brother. Gloria Lasoya Salgado. Hey, girlfriend, how are you doing, sweetheart? Thank you very much for joining us. The amazing job of Mr. Legend DLG. There you go. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. Yeah, y'all guys are sitting too much. I can't read them all. They're just going too fast. No, that's cool though. It's a great song. I was gonna make this mention about Cesar. And it slipped my mind. When we were talking about Ram. You know, when Ram told me the reason he wanted to first go with y'all guys the very first time, he thought it'd be a cool idea. He didn't know if it was going to work out or not, but he said it was definitely a cool idea because y'all were going to be playing. The gig was going to be with what he was a big fan of Roberto
Roberto
Pulido.
Pulido.
Yeah, he was a big fan of Roberto Pulido, and y'all were going to be with Roberto Pulido that day, and that's he was like, "Yeah, dude, yeah, I'm going to be there."
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah.
Cesar doesn't have those flavors, man. This guy, he's hitting up there in the A and G chord. He's up there, and he's just
Cesar can sing it all, man. Yeah. We're very lucky to have Cesar with us. My dad, in paz descanse, Tony Garza, he would always tell me, "Dave, look for a young guy that knows all the old songs like de los Chachos, de Conjunto Bernal, de los Casinos, you name it." And I told my dad, "Dad, there's no more young guys here that in La Onda that know all that. They might know just the latest stuff." He said, "No, there's got to be somebody out there." Well, my dad passed like 12 years ago, and Cesar's been with us 10 years and 10
10 years.
months, like Ralph said.
Eight months. Eight
So
months.
he didn't get to meet my dad. He didn't get to meet my dad, but I bet you my dad's looking down at us and smiling and saying, "I told you there was somebody there." Because Cesar can, so he can bust out any song de los Chachos, de Conjunto Bernal, the stuff that I like to listen to and I
Yeah.
grew up with. So yeah, my dad was right. There was somebody out there, and it was Cesar Martinez.
And and you know, I just love his range, his tone, his range, and everything. You know, it's really it's complementary to the music that you do because of the
Yeah,
fact that you do so much, and it's really going from. I mean, you've covered the whole range of people that of voices, of male voices with you. You know, baritones and sopranos and altos. You know, you've done them
right.
all, and
And my compadre Roberto Pulido, that's his favorite. That's his idol. My compadre Roberto Pulido's voice, you know. And so once in a while, I tell him, do this stuff de Pulido. All right, let's do it. And we'll bust out a Roberto Pulido song once in a while.
yeah, he's something else. You know, I try to get him on the show, but he tells me that I have to go to his house because he can't hear very well.
Oh, my
And well, I
compadre
mean,
Pulido, yeah,
yeah, well, I mean,
yeah,
he's been on stage for so long, and music has
exactly.
changed. You know, back then, you had to had the monitors really loud, and then remember those
Yeah,
par cans of par 65s that would burn you. You know, it's way different now than it was back then.
different. Yeah,
But yeah, I want to do that before too long. I get out there, and I'm doing a, a documentary on Tejano legends. Just get their story, their backstory, not
awesome.
the
That's
today,
great.
just the backstory, because we need to know. I always say you need to know your roots before you can grow. You need to know where you're from, and so
Right.
we need to get that story. Vivian says, Mr. Legend DLD, great vocals and music. I love the accordion sound. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Felipe Liel, how are you doing, brother? He says, saludos, everyone. Go check out Felipe's YouTube channel. He's got a lot of music. He travels a lot. He's got a lot of music out there. He went to that thing over there in Michigan, the Mexican fiesta that was over there, and did an awesome job over there. David says that David Vela. He says that Cesar has an awesome voice, brother. There you go, for
Yeah, he does.
sure. Yeah, for sure. And I do like his range. I love it, and it's so effortless. You know, it doesn't sound like he's straining. He's just which is really cool. I mean, it's a compliment.
Right.
You know, uh, uh,
Good.
for a lot of new artists, it's you gotta if you're a singer, that's your instrument. Practice your instrument.
Yeah.
You know,
Take care of
D-
it.
yeah,
You have
take
to
care
take
of it.
care of it.
Yeah, very good, very good. That's a good one. Uh, uh, B says, Mr. Legend, do you remember 107.9 Kakukuka here in Houston?
I think I remember that. Sure. Yakukuka, man. Yeah, when we
Yeah.
first started going to Houston back in the 80s, 70s, late 70s, early 80s, when yeah, Kakukuka was a happening thing over there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just know it because of it was always Kakukuka, and I was like, what is that? What does that mean?
What does
you
that
know,
mean, right?
I didn't know what it was, and so people were
Right.
like, yeah. You have another song. One of your recent songs that you just released not too long ago was "Para No Piensas." Tell me a little bit about that song.
Para no pensar en ti. It's an
Yeah,
old song también that a friend of mine, another DJ from West Texas, Ricky Ramos. I don't know if you might have heard of him.
yeah.
Ricky Ramos, he's in Odessa, Midland,
Hmm.
Odessa area, right?
I'm in San
And
Angelo, brother.
yeah, he's a DJ over there, and he always told me, David, I hear this song and I hear the musicales, and I said, oh yeah, Los Humildes recorded that, yeah, back in the '80s. I said, okay, blah, blah, blah. So he kept reminding me, and we were in the studio this past time, and we needed another cumbia. I said, hey, we need another cumbia, and I said, you know what? Ricky Ramos told me about that. Para no pensar en ti, Los Humildes, I don't know that anybody's done it, in a while. Well, we recorded it, and then about three or four other bands recorded it too about the same time. But it's a great song. It's a great song. We get a lot of requests for it now.
Yeah, actually, it's ever since I got it and I put it on the radio station. It's still because I have like a top 40 because I can't see. I don't see like people request. What I see is when, like on my radio station, by the way, for those of y'all that are listening, if you are listening to Cuba Radio right now, you're going to see an add to cart button right next to the song. You can click on that add to cart button. It'll take you to Apple Music, and you can either buy the song or buy the whole entire album. I don't make any money from that transaction, but because I participate in a program that, because I'm a fully accredited radio station with
Right.
ASCAP, CMIC, SEC, SOCOR, it allows me a discount for that program. So there you go. But I get to see who leaves the radio station for
Right.
that lead. And so that gives me a better, I don't see if they bought it or not, but I do see if they did click on it. Does that make
Right.
sense?
That's
You know, so
correct.
it's a good one. Let's see here. Felipe says, I filmed DLG last year in Milwaukee. Just need to edit it and post it. Loco, it's been a year, bro.
Yeah, the Milwaukee Fest over there, the Fiesta Mexicana.
Yeah,
We
Fiesta
love doing
Mexicana.
that
That's
festival too. It's a beautiful, beautiful country out there,
mhm.
and the casino was very good to us too.
Oh, don't say that, bro. Don't say that, because I know about you and a friend of mine going. B says I was with them at the Kakukuka. There you go.
There you go.
George Vinicius, how are you doing? Saludos, everyone. Does the California 408 Freestyle Cartel in the building? How are you doing, George? Thank you for joining us, brother. I do appreciate you. Vámonos fuerte, awesome show. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Well, let's go ahead and take a listen to that song because I mentioned it. But it's a great song, and once again, it's just listen to the music, and it's I don't know about you guys out there listening to David Lee, but I will tell you this: every time I hear a David Lee Garza song, whether it's a ranchera or a cumbia, it always makes me want to dance. What I love about it is it reminds me of dancing as a couple. It's a song meant to be shared. And that's really something that we need to do nowadays, because this has made us self-segregating. We need to get off of this and start doing more people things. And there's nothing better than dancing with your favorite person and enjoying a really good song. David Lee Garza. Por eso no piensas en ti, something.
Para no pensar en ti.
Para no pensar en ti. I have it written down
Just so
somewhere.
I won't think about you.
Just, for David Lee Garza, this is in Yo right here on QO Radio.
Para no pensar en ti, voy a irme lejos, lejos. No quiero seguir aquí, porque a diario te recuerdo. Para no pensar en ti, voy a ver con quién me ruedo. Ya me cansé de sufrir, no tenerte es un infierno. Para no pensar en ti, voy a irme lejos, lejos, donde no me hablen de ti, a ver si así no pienso en ti, no pienso en ti. Para no pensar en ti, voy a irme lejos, lejos, basta arrancarte de mí, a ver si así no pienso en ti, no pienso en ti. Para no pensar en ti, voy a irme lejos, lejos. Este amor no es para mí, ¿para qué diablos me quedo? Para no pensar en ti, cambiaré todo por nuevo. Todo me recuerda a ti, olvidar que aquí no puedo. Para no pensar en ti, voy a irme lejos, lejos, donde no me hablen de ti, a ver si así no pienso en ti, no pienso en ti. Para no pensar en ti, voy a irme lejos, lejos, basta arrancarte de mí, a ver si así no pienso en ti, no pienso en ti.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. It's, I
and
mean,
the
it's
crowd goes wild.
right. Yeah, it's like I got it right here. All
There
I
you
can
go.
just call
There
it
you
up.
go.
And the what I love about it is just like it's that's the key of good music, man. If it gets you moving and you just wanna enjoy it, you know, I think that's what the call is. Let me share this with you, Dave. I don't know if
Okay.
I told you this the last time, but for me, when I started the radio station, it was because when I was deployed, when I was overseas, when I was doing my GI Joe thing, the only thing that could calm the madness, the only thing that could center me was music because it helped me come home. It helped me remember family and friends. And sometimes that's all you have when you're out there,
Right.
just those memories. And music is such a powerful thing. What you've done, I don't know if you've understood this or if anybody's ever told you this, David, but your music is powerful. You've affected so many lives. Have you ever given it any thought that your music, people have married to your music, people have fell in love to your music, people have kissed for the very first time to your music, people have, I've asked my wife her first dance to your music. Think of that. Has that ever come? Have you ever thought of that?
I get it from a lot of fans. I'll meet some people up, and it's weird. They'll come up and tell me, you know what? We met with your songs, and then you played at our wedding 42 years ago, 30 years ago.
Wow.
And they'll tell me where. I asked them where was it, and one of them in particular said it was in Pearsall, and I remember playing Pearsall a lot, and it was one of their weddings. So yeah, I get that all the time. I get it from newer fans. They say we grew up with your music because that's all my parents would listen to. Really? I said, yeah, every day. So now we come to your dances and we tell them, hey, we're gonna go see David Lee Garzs. Like, oh, where's he playing? Is he still playing? I said, yeah.
He's still playing.
Like this, I said,
Wow.
todavía está vivo. You're still alive. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we get that all the time from our fans that grew up listening to our music, and married and got divorced. There was one couple that came and told me, "Hey, yeah, your music, we love it. Uh, I got married to your music your music, but this is my second wife. Now, I didn't marry the first. This is not the first wife. This is my second wife." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, at least you bring her. At least you're bringing her around to our music. And I said,
Right,
"Yeah,
right.
exactly.
No, but
Yeah,
that's really powerful, and that's something that's kind of humbling if you really think about it. That you have that effect on people. It's really
very
wonderful,
blessed.
and
Very
yeah.
blessed. Very blessed."
And for those of you that are listening, let me tell you something. Let me tell us. I'm going to share this story if you'll allow me, David. David Lee Garzs is a very genuine person. He's a very kind person. A mutual friend of ours. He was having a fundraiser and he needed help, and David Lee had a show the day before. Drove into town. It's like 4 hours away.
Something
He
like that.
Yeah, he drove into town and he was there, and I drove into town that night, and I got there like 12:30, 12:30, 1 o'clock. David was already there cooking. He was already there helping out with this benefit. You're a very good
Oh, definitely.
soul.
I was actually collecting the tickets for the plate sale,
Yeah,
and
you were. Yeah,
the people were coming up to me and say, "You're David Igarza." I said, "Yeah."
yeah,
And you're
yeah,
picking up these tickets here? I said, "Yeah, it's a friend of ours." Oh,
yeah,
okay. They couldn't understand why I was there, and I
yeah.
said, "I'm just like anybody else. We're here to
No,
help."
and it's really good to see. I think people forget sometimes that you're not just the great David Lee Garzas, the musician that's on stage, but you're also a very good human being, and we need to be good people to each other. That's what we need to do, and
Exactly. Yeah.
and I love your music, and I don't say that to coddle to you, because it really was your albums were the ones that helped me go into music because the musicianship was so good, that it's always been so good over the years. And I've got every one of your albums. Um, and but it's a testament to the dedication that you have for your music. So congratulations to you, kudos
Well,
to you for that.
well, I don't even have all my albums, but it's very good to hear that somebody's got all my albums.
Well, it's one of those things where I go and I have to go and look. It was easier back in the day because I started back in the late '90s is when I started collecting all this music and everything else.
Okay.
I actually have your black and white, your promos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was a program director for the KSJT here in San Angelo for like seven
Okay.
years. Yeah, and so I got a lot of promo stuff from y'all, and I still have all of that stuff. So it's pretty cool, to have
That's cool.
to have that stuff. But it's good that you're here. Anthony Patterson, how are you doing, brother? He says, "Eso."
And Anthony Patterson, Divine,
Yeah.
Texas.
There you go. He's got a great song that's out. You go take a listen to it. He's got an Emilio melody that he does some real good justice to it. So be sure you take him out and request that music.
Oh yeah.
I got to we're to the point of the show, David, where we just give you the opportunity to say your thank yous, to mention to everybody where it is they can go and get your music. By the way, davidleegarza.com. You can get his merch. If you're going to support your favorite artist, you got to go to their shows and buy their merch. It's easier that way.
Exactly.
Spotify, they've already changed it again. They've changed their
Again.
systems again. Yes, they're doing their the royalties that the way they're paying it, they're changing it again. Believe it or not, there is a deal right now on the table for RCA Records to buy them up. RCA Group to buy them out. So
Oh,
that means that Capital EMI are going to be able to have a share in it, and that's going to push a lot of people out.
well,
So go to their shows, buy their merch, buy their CDs, go out there, put this thing down, pick her hand, take her to the dance floor and enjoy and make memories that way. Yeah,
that's
guarantee
right.
you it's going to be better than anything you could do here. David Lee, for you, brother, just it's all you, man. I'm going to step out so that way you can say your thank yous, your whatever it is that you want to say. Remind people where you're going to be this weekend so that way they can come out and see you.
Right. Well, thank you so much. Want to thank everybody that's listening in and watching us. También appreciate y'all very much. You want to reach us? Um, we're on Facebook. We're all over the place, but emails and stuff, or our website, davidleegarcelosmusicales.com or davidleegarcelosmusicales.net. You can find merchandise and all kinds of goodies. This coming week, we are down in the valley. We're in Mercedes, I believe, Mustang Lounge. I think it's in Mercedes, West Laco. I don't know. What do I know? I just get in the bus and they take me there. But we're down in the valley. It's called Mustang Lounge. I want to see everybody out there. As a matter of fact, we were over there in Grand Rapids, Grand Haven, Michigan, and there was a couple there that said, "So you're at Mustang Lounge next week?" I said, "Yeah, I believe on Friday night. We'll see you there." I said, "What?" So
Wow.
I don't know that they're probably from the valley, but they were over there listening to us at Grand Rapids, Grand Haven, Michigan. So they came out to the dance and said, "We'll see you next week at Mustang Lounge in the valley." I said, "Okay, that's fine." So that's about the only gig we have next week. We're off Saturday. Um I'm forgetting if we're somewhere. I believe we're Sunday. I believe we're at Traders Village here in San Antonio. We were just there last week. This is another function for AARP. They're putting on a show there, and they asked us to be part of it. So I believe on Sunday we'll be back aquí in San Antonio at Traders Village. It's a big one of the biggest flea markets around, and we'll be there. But again, thank you so much for listening, for being part of our fans, of the fans of Los Musicales. Thank you for buying all our merchandise, buying our music. Go out there and support your local band, your favorite band, local or it doesn't matter. But the main thing is to support your band so that we can keep on working, keep on playing, and bringing more music to you.
There you go, guys. And by the way, I'm sorry, David, I forgot to mention. Yeah, you go to the website. I actually have the QR code. It goes like, oh
Oh,
wow, Hijo, mira nomás. There it is. David Lee Garza. That's the website, the QR code. Click on the QR code. It'll take you to his website where you can find all of his merch, find his music. Go out there. It's better to get it from the artist. They get, that's the most immediate impact. Get it from the artist. That way you cut out the middleman, you help out the artist the most. And that's the way to do it. Go to their shows, man. Put down your phone. Besides, how many times are you going to go back and look at your video? You know what I'm saying? I have pictures in there. I'm like, why does my thumb in there? You know, I don't, you know, it's better just to make memories. I know stuff that I remember here 10 times better than what I remember on my phone. So go out there and enjoy your show. It's a great show, Dave. You always do a great job. Thank you so very much for coming out, bro, man. I really do appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you, like I said, first, to all the fans that have been supporting us throughout all these years. And I'd like to thank Freddie Jr., Mark, and Freddie Sr. for bringing us into the Freddie Records family. We're happy, and a lot of good things coming your way.
Yeah, and you know, I can't wait to see what it is. I know you're going to be putting out more music videos, and I told Mark, I was like, hey Mark, you know, because I do music videos as well. I was like, hey dude, put me to work, man. No, I want to do David Lee videos. I don't want to do anybody else. No, just kidding. Real quick, let me steal some of that time. Hey, the girls, hasta Hilda P and La Jolla, they're having the Hallow Beat, their music festival. They bring a lot of new artists here to San Antonio. They're going to have it there in San Antonio. It's going to be in October, so be checking out for that. The tickets are going to go on sale. They have a lot of new groups, a lot of fun groups. You know, Conjunta Diferencia is going to be there. They've got Los Arcos Hermanos Peña. They're going to be there. They you know, Angel Miranda that's going to be there. So, you know, go check it out, man. Go support these ladies. You know, these are lady promoters. You know, and they're making their mark in the music industry as well. You know, shout out to them. And I hope they do great. If you need any more information, reach out to me, and I'll be sure to put it out there so that way y'all guys can get that as well. And Vivian, she says she likes the magic whenever I play whenever I show my little QR code.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, Dave, thank you so very much, man. I really do appreciate you. Jesse says, hola amigos from Grupo Entrego. Thank you very much, Jesse, for joining us, man. I appreciate you, brother. And be safe, bro. And if you need anything, man, this is your house. Whenever you got some new information that you want us to share, let me know. You know, I'll share it out there and put it out there, whatever it is that you need. You guys are joining me late. Leonard Alvaro says, hello, everyone. How are you doing, Leonard? Thank you very much, brother. Thank you, each and every one of y'all. And remember, if today you had a bad day today, just remember, every day planes take off against the wind. You matter. You are loved. And with that, God bless you. Thank you very much, David. And we'll see you later. David, if you could stick around for just a little bit more so we can take care of some radio business, and then we'll be and we'll see y'all guys next time. Next week I have Allie E. Rowe, that little girl from Conroe, Texas. She's a great talent. He's Leo y Tentacion that's who Leonard is from. And so we're gonna leave you with the song. And I already forgot the word. Atormentado.
Atormentado.
There you go. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you got it.
You know what? I got to practice this, and I'm ashamed of myself already, man, because I had practiced it, but I just forgot. Goes like this: Atormentado from David Lee Garza y Los Musicales, now with Freddie Records. Thank you so very much. The one and only David Lee Garza. That's him right there. I'm Indio. This is Cuba Radio. Good night to each and every one of you. God bless.
Me estás atormentando